Pierre Poilievre has frequently recommended that Canadians invest in Bitcoin over the Canadian dollar to avoid inflation.
Why don't we talk about some really terrible advice that was offered to Canadians in the spring by the Conservative leader? He urged Canadians to invest in crypto as a way to opt out of inflation. Now, Bitcoin has crashed by 21% over the past week and by more than 65% since the Conservative leader first gave Canadians that reckless advice. The Conservatives should apologize today for this reckless policy and admit that investing in crypto would have bankrupted Canadians.
Pierre Poilievre has said that the Canadian government is, quote, ruining the Canadian dollar. So Canadians should have the freedom to use other money, such as Bitcoin, unquote. Pierre Poilievre has disclosed that he is an investor in the Purpose Bitcoin ETF and watches cryptocurrency podcasts with his wife. Watch this bizarre podcast appearance where Pierre Poilievre smokes shisha and talks about crypto and Poilievre's time in Egypt.
So, Ali, you really caught my attention when you started talking about inflation on Twitter. And I was thinking, look, you got all these big shot experts, so-called economists and central bankers who claim that money printing doesn't cause inflation. And I'm seeing this shawarma shop owner from London, Ontario, who says, no, of course it causes inflation. It's happened everywhere. And then you predicted it and you protected your family business against inflation with a very clever financial decision that you made. We'll come back to in a moment. It involves Bitcoin. But before we get there, I really want to understand, from whence did you get the wisdom to foretell the inflation that was coming all the way back in 2020, when all the so-called experts were telling us that we were going to have deflation? How did you know better than all of them? But I find it interesting that you were able to internalize the knowledge from that moment in history.
That's life experience.
Life experience. Yeah. And I was speaking with your dad earlier, and he was saying, in history, you see the future. And I don't know him well, but he strikes me as a very wise man.
Yes.
As an aside, I spent a little bit of time in Egypt when I was in my early 20s. I backpacked into the Sinai and went next to the Gulf of Aqaba near the Red Sea, where Moses or Musa divided the waters. And
isn't it beautiful over there?
It's an incredible place, you can stay there for $5 a night with the Bedouin, the traditional Bedouin. They pull the fish right out of the Red Sea. You stay in a little tent, you sit on the ground drinking a nice Turkish coffee, strongest coffee in the world. You can actually eat it with a fork, it's so thick. And anyway, it just lights you up like a Christmas tree when you drink it. But some of my best memories are from there, and the simple principles of life by which the Bedouins have survived in the deserts for thousands of years. And you brought some of that wisdom to here, and as a business owner, you have a shawarma shop. Just got a chance to enjoy some of the incredible product. You were able to apply that wisdom in your business. So tell me, when you saw the money printer starting up,
yes,
you said this is a flashback, right?
Absolutely.
Like, I've seen this shit before, right?
100%.
And then you said, I'm going to do something about it, right?
I got to do something about it.
Right.
It was more of panic mode.
Yeah.
And now Canada is in panic mode. Pierre Poilievre is dangerously unqualified. Pierre Poilievre is an unserious economic illiterate. Vote wisely, Canada.